Hello and welcome to Restore 2022, an opportunity for us to read scripture together, to grow together in our confidence who God is, and to live for Him and worship Him. We are on our journey in the book of Genesis, and today we've arrived in Genesis chapter 21 and 22. Although it took many years, numerous dramatic events and experiences in order for the promise to be fulfilled, for Abraham and Sarah, what we have in chapter 21 is the proof of God's faithfulness to His words. The long-awaited baby arrives. They name him Isaac, meaning laughter, circumcise him, and everything that was done for the baby was done as the Lord has spoken, in the light of His promise and according to what He has commanded. But these dramatic events don't seem to stop with the arrival of Isaac. They seem to carry on. Because what we have here is Ishmael's mockery of Isaac and Sarah's antagonistic response towards Abraham's firstborn son, to which actually Sarah herself arranged for Abraham to go and sleep with Hagar. Sarah's antagonism led to the old man with a broken and distressed heart to make preparations and send off his firstborn son to a near-death experience in the wilderness. And yet the Bible comforts us by saying that the Lord hears the cryings of the boy, opens Hagar's eyes, and provides water. God was there with the boy, despite Sarah's antagonism and Abraham's distress. And in the midst of this drama, God is present, His promises are true, and His provision is timely. Then the last paragraph of the passage is a dispute over an old problem, the problem of water, between Abraham and Abimelech, which actually ends up in a very positive agreement with a good outcome. Then we move to chapter 22, which highlights God's command, however gruesome you may find it, and Abraham's complete obedience, especially as Isaac is the only son whom God has said that He would fulfill the promise to Abraham. Abraham's faith was relentlessly locked into the premise that God was faithful and that He had promised to do certain things. Abraham had to be taken to that point to see what was in his heart. Not only for God to see, but also for Abraham to see for himself. Not to mention what Isaac saw from his uncomfortable position on the altar as a potential sacrifice. What would that be for you today? That point for both God and you to see what's in your heart. And as you acknowledge it, are you able to say, God, I trust you today, not only with my pain, but also with your provision as I choose to love and to obey you. Abraham pressed on, not always knowing how or why or where or when, but always knowing who. Thank God that we are on the different side of the history, and especially for Jesus, God's living words, so we can know Him better. Having said that, with more knowledge comes more responsibility. Follow us tomorrow with Genesis 23 and 24.